As Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council.
As Vice-Chancellor, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. The High Sheriffs of Leicestershire and Rutland, the Town Clerk, civic dignitaries that are joining us this afternoon, in particular the Mayor of Oadby and Wigston, parents, relatives, friends and graduands of the University of Leicester. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We celebrate your many achievements that culminate in the award of a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 18,500 students and 3,000 staff with a turnover of £167 million. It all demonstrates that universities are complex organisations. They are businesses with higher education at their heart. In these circumstances, the higher education sector has become a topic of interest to the media who regularly evaluate our work. In the last year, we have appeared in a range of league tables. In August, we were placed in the top 20 research-intensive universities based on data produced by the University of Cambridge. We were also one of only 17 UK universities to appear in the top 200 universities and the top 500 universities in the world. We were placed in 179th position in the former competition and 151st in the latter. I can say to you that I feel the data in the latter are far more reliable and valid. In May, we were placed in 24th position in the Times League table. This is an increase of 5 points on previous positions, and it is our intention to go higher. Indeed, the higher we are placed, the greater the perceived value of your degree from this university. But you might ask, what contributes to our league table position? First, the development of teaching. This year, Leicester has been awarded 3 Centres of Excellence in Teaching and Learning in a national competition: in genetics education, in geography, and in physics. This makes us one of only 16 universities awarded more than one of these innovative centres. Subject reviews by external groups have resulted in 14 consecutive marks of excellent being awarded to this university. This was matched, we know, by only one other UK university. And national teaching fellowships have also been awarded to our staff. Last year to Dr. Derek Rain in physics, and this year to Dr. Chris Wilmot in biochemistry. We are very proud of them. In research, we have been identified as a leader in the field, and I am delighted to say that the social sciences play a key role in this. We have made major appointments in our management centre that has affirmed our position as a leader in the field of critical management studies nationally and internationally. In economics, Professor Panikos Dimitriadis is leading an ESRC-funded research project on financial liberalisation and third world debt. While in labour market studies, the staff have had 3 of their research projects rated as outstanding by the Economic and Social Research Council during the course of this year. All these are splendid achievements, and they all demonstrate the way in which social science in the University of Leicester, as nationally, has much to say about contemporary issues and is at the very heart of the policy-making process. We have also continued to develop high-quality facilities for staff and students. The Henry Wellcome Building for Biomedical Sciences provides a £22 million state-of-the-art facility for biological sciences. This brings our total committed investment to biological sciences to £42 million this year. But it should never be forgotten that social science also has a role to comment on the work that occurs in the biological and life science areas. This is also part of the inter-faculty debate that goes on in any good university. The Space Science and Mathematical Modelling building was also opened this year and named in honour of our Chancellor, Sir Michael Atiyah. And among new developments that are taking place is the work on the University Library project, an essential part of the research and teaching infrastructure that constitutes a £28 million project for everyone on campus. It will include enhanced library facilities that will double the size of the University Library, and there will also be a 500-seater lecture theatre built in the basement. Meanwhile, a new student hall of residence with 581 study bedrooms was recently started in the borough of Oadby and will be available for students to use in September 2006. All these facilities enhance the student experience in Leicester. Meanwhile, this university also makes a contribution to the community, and that comes in many forms. Contact, a student volunteer organisation that the President of the Student Union refers to as the Vice-Chancellor's favourite society, has seen over 500 students volunteering this year to help with right-to-read schemes, holidays for disabled children, and work in adventure playgrounds. Conducting this work and creating these facilities empowers the people for whom they are designed. It changes their lives. They will never forget those Leicester students who have helped them in this way. Our Arts Week connects with those engaged in dance, drama and music, where many links are made with local schools through the school's arts exhibition staged in the university last March. Meanwhile, our Centre for Disability and the Arts, named after Lord Richard Attenborough, promotes dance, music and the visual arts through classes and public performances by international artists. Only last Friday, we opened our 4th International Sculpture Show in the Botanic Gardens that highlights the university's contribution to the arts. This year, the exhibition celebrates the centenary of the Royal British Society of Sculptors. The exhibits are expensive, but viewing is free, and I do strongly recommend it to those of you who are visiting Leicester for the degree ceremonies. In a university such as this, we need to constantly plan and build new facilities and raise funds for them. This year, we have raised over £3 million to commence work on a cardiovascular research institute which will not only engage in fundamental and clinical research, but also have great benefits for the population of Leicester and Leicestershire, and also give great benefit to people nationally and internationally. Secondly, our University Library project is also the subject of our fundraising appeal. Indeed, if in the course of the afternoon you decide to start flicking through the degree ceremony brochure, if you turn to the last page, you will find there is a marvellous opportunity to sponsor a chair in the University Library. As I've been recommending in other degree congregations, if you really want to persuade your parents that you've spent huge amounts of time in the University Library, the thing to do is to say you really would like a chair commemorated in your name in the University Library, because it will absolutely convince them that that's what you did for most of your time in Leicester. Your secret will be safe with me if you do this. Our work in this university never stops, and I think that's a really pleasing feature of it. We are creating plans for new research, new teaching programs, and new community links. This is done by developing our contribution to the arts through links we have established with local artists. Developing new research projects and new research centres in the social sciences is a key objective for the university in the next year, alongside new research activity taking place across a range of faculties in the university. We have new teaching programmes that are being developed with new professorial appointments in film and in the media, and new exhibitions are planned in the Richard Attenborough Centre throughout the summer and through the coming academic year. The list could be endless and demonstrates we are a dynamic university. Finally, I would like to congratulate you all on the degrees you have obtained. We hope that you will keep in touch with the university, and I shall look forward to meeting you at alumni events. But before I close, I should tell you about a competition that we run every year between all of the faculties. Now, it's always difficult when you're the last faculty, but on the other hand, it also gives you a huge chance, because every faculty has been in here this week making sure that they can applaud the loudest and the longest of any faculty. Now, I can help you a bit because I now know what the competition's like. And this morning, the medics were in here. Now, they just don't applaud. They cheer, and they stamp their feet on the floor, and they make a huge amount of noise. And I said to them this morning, I could guarantee that if we took it this morning, that they would definitely win the competition. But I thought my colleagues in the social sciences would not let me down as a fellow social scientist, and that you're going to demonstrate this afternoon that you can take the medics on quite easily. So what I'd like you to do is to now join with me in showing your appreciation to your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through the university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2005 to join with me in a round of applause for those people. Well, that's very good. More like that, and it will be a competition with the medics. So the main thing this afternoon is to have a very enjoyable day, to applaud your fellow students, and it just remains for me to say all good wishes to you in your future careers.
Mark Haysom is a graduate of this university, where he studied in our Department of English. His first-year tutor, Lois Potter, described him as a charming young man with a strong sense of fun who could do well if he decides to take his work seriously. His second and third-year tutor, Bill Myers, reported that from time to time he did indeed take his work seriously. I can report that he has indeed done well. On graduating, Mark Haysom became a trainee sub-editor on the trade magazine for retail newsagents. Such specialist publications can be a subject of mirth on television programs such as Have I Got News for You, but in vocational terms can be a launch pad for a career in journalism and in newspaper management. Mark Haysom was the high-octane rocket on that launch pad. He initially moved to the Lincolnshire Standard Group, where he became a trainee reporter, and then he became a news editor, and then at the ripe age of 25, editor of a weekly newspaper series. We all know the phenomenon whereby the securing of a job is regarded as an end in itself, after which one can luxuriate in one's success. Such a notion is utterly alien to the spirit of Mark Haysom, who drove up circulation in the face of serious competition, cut production costs, and relaunched the series in a tabloid format. As a result of these successes, his newspaper twice won a Newspaper of the Year award. In 1984, Mark joined the South London Guardian as its editorial director. The paper was then independent, but was soon to be taken over by Reed International. During this demanding period, he was running 8 free weekly newspapers with a turnover of £12 million and profits of more than £2 million a year. That sort of profit margin opens doors, and Mark quickly moved from editorial director to general manager to managing director. During his period in office, revenue growth and profitability soared despite heavy capital outlay on new titles and systems installation and office relocation. Reed International could not help but notice this firebrand in their midst, and he soon became deputy chief executive. Instead of relinquishing responsibility for the South London Guardian Group, he assumed responsibility for 2 additional companies, which gave him 14 titles in all, with a revenue of £20 million a year and a profit of £4 million a year. This extraordinary accomplishment was realized in the early 1990s, which saw the worst downturn in the London advertising market for a generation. The triumphant survival of the group was a direct result of the strategies of Mark Haysom, who integrated the businesses with a view to creating synergies that would cut costs and so see the papers through a deep recession. There was only one job left, that of chief executive, and Reed was already dusting the seat off for Mark Haysom when he was headhunted by Thomson Regional Newspapers. It was an unusual job, in that its aim was to stop the hemorrhaging of £1 million a month, a loss that could simply not be sustained. Within 6 months, Mark had halved the losses. Within the year, he had prepared the company for sale and undertaken the disposal process that enabled Thomson to escape. In recognition of the managerial skills that went into this great escape, Thomson offered him the choice of running one of 2 national centres. The choice lay between the Newcastle Centre, which was successful, and the Cardiff Centre, which was failing. It was entirely in character that Mark chose the Cardiff operation, which was losing £2 million a year on a turnover of £32 million. He drove the top-line growth, he restructured the cost base, as a result of which the centre was soon achieving and maintaining a 15% annual profit and turning in an annual profit of £11 million. Once again, the chair of the chief executive was being dusted off, and this time the fates intervened in that Thomson was taken over by the Trinity Mirror Group. At Trinity, Mark began by running the company's regional portfolio, uncovering and handling a major circulation fraud in Birmingham, which meant that he had to handle 5,000 grumpy advertisers who thought that they had been deceived, and fending off a challenge from associated newspapers, which announced that in 3 days they were going to launch a metro in Birmingham. Mark cracked his whip, and within 48 hours, he had researched, developed, and produced a metro of his own, which was on the streets a day ahead of the competition. Within a year of joining Trinity, Mark had become managing director of the group's national newspapers: the Daily Mirror, the Sunday Mirror, the Sunday People, the Scottish Daily Record, the Sunday Mail. You can imagine the profile when he took over. Administrative chaos, a loss of sales to the Sun, the collapse of advertising after 9/11. And what happened? Mark Haysom achieved profits of more than £100 million on a turnover of £500 million and collected several Newspaper of the Year awards in the process. Now, where can a newspaper mogul conceivably go from there? The answer, for the time being, is the Learning and Skills Council, of which he became chief executive in 2003. This is the body that is responsible for the planning and funding of all post-16 education and skills, with the exception of universities. I can perhaps give you a sense of scale by pointing out that Mark is responsible for a staff of 4,200 in 50 offices, and he has a budget that is almost £10 billion. His aspiration, which given his record seems almost modest, is to change the world, to ensure that people get the education of which they are capable and employers get the skills that they need. Mark says in his modest way that the award of an honorary doctorate from this university recognises the importance of the Learning and Skills Council to the future prosperity of the United Kingdom. So it does. But more importantly, it recognises a Leicester graduate of whom we are immensely proud. We are delighted that it all started here. Mr. Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and the Council, I present to you Mark Haysom that you may confer upon him the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws.
Meet you the degree, Doctor in Laws. We welcome you among us. May I go? Put it up on your wall. Thank you.
I've done some scary things in my life. This is right up there with them, I have to say. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, graduates. In a fortunate life, there are many special days. Then there are a few which are truly memorable. Days that stand out in your mind, days that you know will remain with you forever. This, for me, is one of those days. There is much that I would like to say today, but very little time to say it in. For understandable reasons, I'm told I have just a few minutes to express my gratitude for this award. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, I am truly honoured to receive this degree. To say that it's unexpected would be an understatement of some magnitude. It would be more accurate to say that it had never crossed my mind in my wildest imaginings that I would receive an honour such as this. The University of Leicester is a very special place. It's a place of learning with a proud past, an even prouder present, and bold plans, as you've heard, to secure a successful future. It has an enviable reputation for the quality of its teaching. It attracts students from a wide social and ethnic background. It boasts world-class research that stretches across the arts, science, medicine, law, education, biological sciences, and of course, social sciences. But what makes it special to me is that I will always think of it as my university. The extraordinary happiness in my life now runs back to here. And all of you graduating today will, I'm sure, come to think of it in the same way and with equal fondness. As you've heard, I left this place some 31 years ago, and I left with a mane of long blonde hair, an overdraft, and a real enthusiasm, a burning desire to see what the journey of my life held in store. As you can see, sadly, the hair is long gone. No longer blonde and certainly not a mane. The overdraft went eventually too, although there were moments, I confess, along the way when I wonder whether it ever would. But what has never left me, what remains undiminished, is that enthusiasm for the journey ahead. You see, something lit a fire in me, a fire that has burned brightly for all of these years. It remained with me for all the years and all the extraordinary times in the world of newspapers, and it burns ever more brightly now as I work close to the heart of government in the world of education. Because what lit that fire was the very fact that I was able to go to university at all. 30 years ago, there were far few opportunities to do so. Indeed, I was the first member of my family to have that chance, and it's thanks to their support I was able to come here. Now, as you've heard, in my current role, I'm responsible for rather a lot of public money, some £10 billion. And when I visit schools and colleges and meet students, which I do frequently, I get asked some really great questions about that £10 billion. Questions usually I can't answer. What does £10 billion look like? What would it look like if it was all in pound coins? If it was a single column of pound coins, how high would it reach? And then, more surreally still, I've been asked, do I have a special room where I keep my £10 billion? Do I have to go and count it myself? What can you buy with £10 billion? And that last question is one that I can answer. What you can buy with £10 billion is dreams. What you can buy is opportunities, life chances, life changes. What you can buy is education and skills training to allow people to live the lives they imagined. And that's what, on behalf of the taxpayer, we at the Learning and Skills Council do. We buy dreams. We plan and fund education and training for some 1.4 million young people and 4.5 million adults every year. And working with a host of other partners, we try to make sure that that education and training is right for individuals, right for employers, and right for the economy itself. It's a fantastic job, and one that I'm privileged to do. And what makes it even better is that I get to work with some remarkable people. Now, in my career, I've had many opportunities to work with different teams. And each time I've moved to a new role, I've had the same discussion with my new management team. It's a leadership discussion. It's a discussion about the values that we needed to share and about how we would work and how we would lead together. It's a leadership discussion that, as you will see, can be summed up in just 8 words. And since today, I'm talking to an audience of future leaders in the private and public sectors, I thought I might end briefly today by sharing some of that conversation with you. The discussion always starts in the same way. We talk about the scale of the challenge we face and the scale of our ambition. We talk about the fact that the way you change the world is by dreaming seemingly impossible dreams, by thinking apparently unthinkable thoughts, and then pursuing them. So the first thing we say is that if you want to succeed in life, you have to be bold. But being bold on its own is not enough. You have to have clarity about what it is you're trying to achieve and how you're going to achieve it. And you have to know what success looks like, and then you have to make sure that you communicate the what and the how of it to everyone in your organization. So the second thing we say is that you have to be clear. And if you're going to deliver success, you have to work effectively as a team. And that means that you have to have trust, loyalty, respect, and consistency between you. So we say, be true. Be true to your values, be true and truthful, be loyal and true. And finally, you have to be determined and resourceful. If one approach doesn't work, you have to try another, and another, and another, until finally you succeed. So we say you need to be relentless. So there you have it, pretty much everything I've learned in my career in just 8 words. Be bold, be clear, be true, be relentless. And that's what I would urge you to do today as you leave this place to pursue your dreams. Be bold, be clear, be true, be relentless, and most of all, live your life with enthusiasm. Congratulations to all of you, students and parents. Thank you again, Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, for the award of this degree, and thank you all for listening. Thank you.
The graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson. Will all graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of the Social Sciences to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduands of the Faculty of the Social Sciences, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees which you are presented.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Mass Communications, Adetokunbo Akinosho Thomas.
Congratulations, well done.
Hugh Biji.
Congratulations.
Israel Chidavenzi.
Congratulations.
James Cullen.
Congratulations, well done.
Karen Dipraneen Sarup.
Congratulations.
Alan Dow.
Congratulations.
Varuna Fowda.
Congratulations.
Alan Oliver Gear.
Congratulations.
Early Hugh.
Congratulations.
A. Jian.
Congratulations.
Gerasimus Markitos.
Congratulations.
Peter Nyangyum.
Congratulations.
Adia Ahmed Nur.
Congratulations.
Madonna Simpson Doyle.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Mass Communications, Zheng Zhang.
Congratulations.
Ji Zhu.
Congratulations.
Ling Zhu.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration Sports Management, Joanne Schroeder.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Sociology of Sport, Gareth Parsons.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Training, Mandy Mifsud.
Congratulations.
Ivana Morton Holmes.
Congratulations.
Wendy Page.
Congratulations.
Alison Anderson.
Congratulations.
David Border.
Congratulations.
Ingrid Busutil Kachiator.
Congratulations.
Passion Vivian Chu.
Congratulations.
Terence Coffey.
Congratulations.
Alison Coupland.
Congratulations.
Xu Zhe Fong.
Congratulations.
Yuk Hua Fong.
Congratulations.
Mary Gochi.
Congratulations.
Diana Giorgio.
Congratulations.
Claire Hayes.
Congratulations.
Josephine Healy.
Congratulations.
David Kennedy.
Congratulations.
Eunice Lay.
Congratulations.
Ho Ping Lee.
Congratulations.
Gemma Long. Rita McClellan. Mario McAuliffe.
Congratulations.
Sandy Ung.
Congratulations.
Mahmoud Noman.
Congratulations.
Adewumi Aoki.
Congratulations.
Angela Patino.
Congratulations.
Hazel Picton.
Congratulations.
Susanna Poon.
Congratulations.
Lorraine Pulicino.
Congratulations.
John Quinlan.
Congratulations.
Anastasia Ragu.
Congratulations.
Sarita Rassi.
Congratulations.
Celia Sargent.
Congratulations.
Marcia Sutton.
Congratulations.
Devayani Vadavilu.
Congratulations.
Pyu Chun Susan Wei.
Congratulations.
Cindy Wei Chan Wan.
Congratulations.
Juliet Helen Webb.
Congratulations.
Jacqueline York Westcott.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Training and Performance Management, Mo Rusland Abu Samah.
Congratulations.
Claire Aquilina.
Congratulations.
Joseph Farrugia.
Congratulations.
Roger Grice. Helen Irish Hurricane.
Congratulations.
Nadia Lisette.
Congratulations.
Marie Lynch. James Purcell.
Congratulations.
Rita Taylor East.
Congratulations.
Rochelle Louise Wood.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Adeyemi Adegibite.
Congratulations.
Olusegun Akinleru.
Congratulations.
Rosina Alam.
Congratulations.
Craig Billner.
Congratulations.
Victoria Burns.
Congratulations.
Richard Camp.
Congratulations.
Anamdip Kohan.
Congratulations.
Hardeep Dalawal.
Congratulations.
Alistair Fox.
Congratulations.
Vittoria Giordini.
Congratulations.
Peter Hughes.
Congratulations.
Andrew Jones.
Congratulations.
John Kirkwood.
Congratulations.
Neil Lindsay.
Congratulations.
Derek Hole is a Devon man, being born, raised and educated in the city of Plymouth. Perhaps oddly for a son of one of Britain's 3 naval home ports, he did his national service in the Royal Air Force and has spent almost all his adult life living about as far from the sea as it is possible to get in this country. Derek Hole trained for the priesthood at Lincoln Theological College and was ordained deacon and then priest at Leicester Cathedral. His first appointment was as assistant curate at St Mary Magdalene in Knighton in the south of this city, where he worked with Canon John Fielder. It was an exciting time for the parish since the much delayed extension to the church was built in his time there. Following his curacy at Knighton, Derek Hole was invited to become the domestic chaplain to the Archbishop of Cape Town, a post he held from 1962 to 1964. Archbishop Joost de Blank was a formidable campaigner for human rights, whose status was recognised by the burial of his ashes in Westminster Abbey. Derek Hole visited every diocese in South Africa with his archbishop and saw apartheid and its effects at first hand. On his return from South Africa, Derek spent a further period as a curate in Warwickshire before being appointed rector of Burton Latimer in Northamptonshire in 1967. Now, I suspect that very few in this audience have heard of the small town of Burton Latimer. Its main claim to fame is as the home of Weetabix, the breakfast cereal. Derek Hole is a porridge eater at breakfast. The Church of St Mary the Virgin there dates from the 13th century, and during his 6 years as rector, Derek Hole completely restored and reordered it. The building as it is today is a testimonial to his efforts. In 1973, Derek Hole became vicar of St James the Greater, the church just across the park from this hall. St James is renowned for offering high standards in worship, incorporating the finest of the Anglican choral tradition. The splendour of the interior is due to the architect Henry Goddard of Leicester, who modelled it on Torcello Cathedral in the Venetian lagoon. The basilica-like building provided the setting for the development of Derek Hole's gift for creative liturgy. Memorable amongst his services are the celebration for Colonel Sir Andrew Martin on his retirement as Lord Lieutenant, and later as Provost for the enthronement of the Bishop of Leicester. During the latter part of his tenure at St James, Derek Hole was deeply involved in diocesan affairs, being a training incumbent, rural dean, chairman of the House of Clergy, and vice president of the Diocesan Synod. In 1985, he was appointed a chaplain to the Queen, being only the second priest from the Diocese of Leicester to hold that position. Despite these high-profile appointments, his main concern remained the pastoral ministry, which has always been close to his heart. Derek Hole left St James in 1992 when he was appointed Provost of Leicester Cathedral. As Provost, his involvement in city and county affairs continued, and with the support of his colleagues, he purchased what is now the Cathedral Centre and was deeply involved in the development of the Western Burial Ground, which has become the Visitors' Centre next to the ancient Guildhall. Throughout his ministry in Leicester, Derek Hole has thrown himself into the corporate and charitable life of the city and county, acting as chaplain to 3 Lord Mayors of the city, 9 High Sheriffs of the county, the Guild of Freemen of Leicester, and the Leicestershire branch of the RAF Association. He also became closely involved with education, being at various times a governor of Alderman Newton's School, St John the Baptist Primary School, Leicester High School, and Leicester Grammar School. He is at present a trustee of the last-named school and of the Alderman Newton Educational Foundation, which exists to provide grants for the educational and professional development of individual citizens of Leicester. Derek Hole retired as Provost of Leicester Cathedral in 1999 at the age of 65. However, clergy never really retire, and he continues his ministry. He is at present chaplain to the Mayor of Oadby and Wigston, and national chaplain of the Society of St George, for whom he leads the service in Whitehall each year. He is a freeman of the City of London and a liveryman of the Worshipful Company of Framework Knitters, a body which has had close links with the City of Leicester, that town built upon the hosiery trade, for some 300 years. Derek Hole is chaplain to the present master of this company. A past master of that company is Nicholas Cora, now Pro-Chancellor of this university. Derek Hole is also, as if this were not enough, local chairman of the Britain-Australia Society and sits on the board of management of that organisation, which exists to promote links between the two countries. This university is proud to honour a priest and a tireless worker for the citizens of Leicester. Mr. Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and of the Council, I present Derek Hole that you may confer on him the Honorary Degree of Doctor of Laws.
And Mrs. Degree, Doctor of Laws, is welcome among us. Congratulations. Well done.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Senate and Council, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank the University for conferring upon me this honorary degree of Doctor of Laws. I regard it as a great honor and privilege. For many years now, I have attended degree congregations of this university and sat in the balcony and watched generations of graduates receive their degrees. And I have listened to the achievements of distinguished men and women upon whom the university has conferred honorary degrees. On many occasions, I have been moved by the contribution they have made to the common good. Their achievements have been outstanding, and by comparison, I have felt, in the words of the psalmist, a worm and no man. So imagine my amazement to find myself standing here now. But as a clergyman, I cannot talk about achievements. That goes against the grain of someone who had, and indeed still has, a vocation to the ordained ministry. I do believe that clergy and all believing people are called to be channels of the love of God in this world. I have now had 45 years as a priest in the Church of England, and I have been privileged to have had countless opportunities to serve and to contribute to the life of the community in many and various ways. When I commenced my ministry in Leicester back in 1960, this university was in its infancy, and over the years I have watched it grow and develop, taking pride in its many achievements as it has sought to ignite and maintain a love of scholarship and learning which have made a great contribution to our national life. During that time, the Church too has developed and changed enormously, though sadly, many people now seem to have lost touch with the values and beliefs it preaches. But I believe that everyone has a sense of spirituality and a spark of the eternal in them, which the Church still seeks to ignite. I would like to congratulate all of you who have graduated today. I understand that in the United States, this ceremony would be called commencement. After the celebrations of today and the partying with parents and friends, you will have to discover your vocation and set out on your future careers and begin to pay off those student loans. I wish you all well. Chancellor, as an honorary graduate and now a proud member of this university, I wish the university continuing success, and once again, I thank you.
The remaining graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will now be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Marco Menegazzi.
Congratulations.
John Newland.
Congratulations.
Bhavini Parma,
Congratulations.
Tim Patmore,
Congratulations.
Lauren Place,
Congratulations.
Eshvar Prashar,
Congratulations.
John Quinn,
Congratulations.
Paul Rosenwood,
Congratulations.
Kamal Preet Sandhu,
Congratulations.
Simon Scaife,
Congratulations.
Jonathan Seekings,
Congratulations.
Ho Fung Tang,
Congratulations.
Richard Welton,
Congratulations.
Maddie Williams,
Congratulations.
Nicholas Wilson,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics with a year in Europe, Dimple Lathani.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Business Economics, Carolyn R. Singh.
Congratulations. Well done.
Award Beni Akin Olgubadi,
Congratulations.
Joy Anshe,
Congratulations.
Ekina Awagu,
Congratulations.
Jonathan Ailing,
Congratulations.
Neil Biggs,
Congratulations.
Thomas Brennan,
Congratulations.
Richard Brock,
Congratulations.
Alistair Cameron Dick,
Congratulations.
David Cassells,
Congratulations.
Pak Ling Chan,
Congratulations.
Pak Wei Chan,
Congratulations.
Nihal Chandarana,
Congratulations.
Fu Chi Chang,
Congratulations.
Purvi Chapaneri,
Congratulations.
Douglas Charleston,
Congratulations.
Huan Yung Cheng,
Congratulations.
Yuk Pan Ching,
Congratulations.
Mary Dempsey,
Congratulations.
Thomas Doggett,
Congratulations.
Lawrence Donaghy,
Congratulations.
Adrian Fenton,
Congratulations.
Daniel Gent,
Congratulations.
Carol Gillis,
Congratulations.
Ashkan Halvey,
Congratulations.
Roy Ho,
Congratulations.
Yi Fong Ho,
Congratulations.
Christopher Yanides,
Congratulations.
Stephen Johnson,
Congratulations.
Chris Jones,
Congratulations.
Maria Kuznakova,
Congratulations.
Ho Sum Kwok,
Congratulations.
Lai Ting Lee,
Congratulations. Well done.
Adam Linton,
Congratulations.
Mingfa Lu,
Congratulations.
Lubasi Lubasi,
Congratulations.
Andrew McKean,
Congratulations.
Victoria Mills,
Congratulations.
Aaron Minton,
Congratulations.
Yana Nikolova,
Congratulations.
Richard Nolan,
Congratulations.
Anne Osir,
Congratulations.
Jai Lu Pan,
Congratulations.
Kunal Patel,
Congratulations.
Nima Patel,
Congratulations.
Oliver Peck,
Congratulations.
Lisa Signori,
Congratulations.
Paul Smith,
Congratulations.
Inderpal Sura,
Congratulations.
Neil Unthiai,
Congratulations. Well done.
Matthew Vallis,
Congratulations.
Peter Wheatley,
Congratulations.
Lin Xiao,
Congratulations.
Zhou Hua Hian,
Congratulations.
Li Junyang,
Congratulations.
Calvin Young,
Congratulations.
Michael Zarb,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Business Economics with a year in Europe, Ian Knock.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Financial Economics, Ushina Achebe.
Congratulations.
Dan Bay,
Congratulations.
winner of the Arthur Poole Memorial Prize, Tamna Barhada.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Nicholas Booth,
Congratulations.
Simon Botterill,
Congratulations.
Tim Bowers,
Congratulations.
Ho Yan Chan,
Congratulations.
Chun Ho Cheng,
Congratulations.
Matthew Clapperson,
Congratulations.
Yi Ming Gao,
Congratulations.
Feng Gu,
Congratulations.
Wei Yin Huang,
Congratulations.
Shanaz Kanum,
Congratulations.
Natural Lau,
Congratulations.
Hong Kit Leong,
Congratulations.
Sishi Liu,
Congratulations.
Ka Yan Man,
Congratulations.
Amita Mohal,
Congratulations. Well done.
Mojibola Owokunaran,
Congratulations.
Jamie Patel,
Congratulations. Well done.
Adil Sadullah,
Congratulations.
Javan Singh.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Law, Ido Barmier,
Congratulations.
Gillian Brett,
Congratulations.
Sandra Sheggy,
Congratulations.
Laura Dalgleish,
Congratulations.
Richard Day,
Congratulations.
Kirandeep Gill,
Congratulations.
Shi Lok Lai,
Congratulations.
Ryan Mohammed,
Congratulations.
Luke Malkin,
Congratulations.
Alex Powers,
Congratulations.
Fernando Rodriguez,
Congratulations.
Christopher Sage,
Congratulations.
winner of the Felicidad Martinez Perinos Memorial Prize for Economics and Law, Amanda Sharman.
Congratulations and very well done on winning the prize. Well done.
Neil Solanki,
Congratulations.
Aman Sood,
Congratulations.
Fatima Tayabiji,
Congratulations.
Thomas Thornton,
Congratulations.
Lynette Turvey.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Javeria Ahmad,
Congratulations.
Shurb Ali,
Congratulations.
Katie Ashby,
Congratulations.
Ellen Bailey,
Congratulations.
Richard Clinton,
Congratulations.
Victoria Groom,
Congratulations.
Kanika Gupta,
Congratulations.
Peter Henderson,
Congratulations.
Hannah Jones.
Congratulations.
Lauren Jones.
Congratulations.
Magdalena Korzak.
Congratulations.
Alison Lang.
Congratulations.
Stephen Miller.
Congratulations.
Nisha Patel.
Congratulations.
Rabia Sidat.
Congratulations.
Angela Tank.
Congratulations.
Joseph Thornywork.
Congratulations.
Jennifer Wiesenberg.
Congratulations.
Deborah Winterton.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Communications and Society, Omotara Akinyamiji.
Congratulations.
Claire Arnott.
Congratulations.
Peter Blakemore.
Congratulations.
Edward Boyle.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Burdick.
Congratulations.
Francis Burns.
Congratulations.
Nita Kohan.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Sarah Callipy.
Congratulations.
Rachel Cronin.
Congratulations.
Tessa Daniel.
Congratulations.
Nicola Edwards.
Congratulations.
Emily Evans.
Congratulations.
Christina Favor.
Congratulations.
Constance Fleming.
Congratulations.
Anthony Hitchens.
Congratulations.
Kristen Kircher.
Congratulations.
Claire Lawrence.
Congratulations.
Jatinder Lote.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Mashiter.
Congratulations.
Rachel Mason.
Congratulations.
Mio Nakashi.
Congratulations.
Niechi Nka.
Congratulations.
Yan Vin N.
Congratulations.
Nadine Radcliffe.
Congratulations.
Helen Rooney.
Congratulations.
Christina Samaropoulou.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Graham Smiles.
Congratulations.
Katie Stenning.
Congratulations.
Amy Sutcliffe.
Congratulations.
Natalie Chew.
Congratulations.
Claire Thornton.
Congratulations.
Gemma Twigden.
Congratulations.
Sylvia Wan.
Congratulations.
Eleanor Ward.
Congratulations.
Ellen Ward.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Wright.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Economics, Rajveer Chana.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Ronald L. Meek Prize, Jonathan Deitch.
Congratulations. Well done on your prize.
Andrew Hall.
Congratulations.
Rashdeep Hare.
Congratulations.
Chi Hong Lau.
Congratulations.
Ben Rees.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Economics, Noreen Aziz.
Congratulations.
Benjamin Fernand.
Congratulations.
Dale Higginbottom.
Congratulations.
Wei Jiang.
Congratulations.
Christian Lee.
Congratulations.
David Laughlin.
Congratulations.
Stephen McKeever.
Congratulations.
Irene Wong.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Financial Economics, Sami Al-Rawi,
Congratulations.
Suzanne Engbarth,
Congratulations.
Paul Fisher,
Congratulations.
Famida Fulat,
Congratulations.
Sukhvinder Gill,
Congratulations.
Louise Glaister,
Congratulations.
Qian He,
Congratulations.
Asaf Khan,
Congratulations.
winner of the Faculty Prize, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants Prize for Business Economics, the Ronald L. Meek Memorial Prize and the Faculty Prize, George Corneliu. Chi Chung Lo,
Congratulations.
Norman Lee,
Congratulations.
Yuk Hwa Mak,
Congratulations.
Jamini Patel,
Congratulations.
Na Chu.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Sociology, Sophie Abatis,
Congratulations.
Rachel Ainsworth,
Congratulations.
Christine Badley,
Congratulations.
Katarina Birkland,
Congratulations.
Rebecca Danzelman,
Congratulations.
winner of the Ilya Neustadt Prize, Laurie Dunn.
Congratulations and very well done on your prize.
Holly Fenn,
Congratulations.
winner of the Sociology Best Performance Prize, Tim Furlong.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Liam Gibbons,
Congratulations.
Gemma Hamilton,
Congratulations.
Georgina Hodges,
Congratulations.
Sandeep Kang,
Congratulations.
Sandeep Kaur,
Congratulations.
winner of the Sociology Best Performance Prize, Natasha Leahy.
Congratulations and well done on your prize. Well done.
Sarah Marono,
Congratulations.
Benjamin Mason,
Congratulations.
Elizabeth Metcalf,
Congratulations.
Jennifer Mudge,
Congratulations.
Sean Monroe,
Congratulations.
Thomas Knott,
Congratulations.
Emma Pierce,
Congratulations.
winner of the Sociology Best Performance Prize in 2003 and 2004, Heather Pudney.
Congratulations and well done on your prizes. Well done.
Katrina Schofield,
Congratulations.
Dominic Shinya,
Congratulations.
Kate Wallace,
Congratulations.
Joseph Young,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Master of Science in Training and Performance Management, Patricia Obichukwa.
Congratulations. Well done.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of the Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees for which they are presented.
two academic colleagues nominated for the award of University Teaching Fellowships will now be presented by the Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Learning and Teaching, Professor Fothergill.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these academic colleagues who have been jointly nominated on the recommendation of the Learning and Teaching Committee for the award of a University Teaching Fellowship for the forthcoming academic year. In recognition of their achievement in developing a successful distance learning Doctorate of Science programme of international significance and impact, Dr. John Goodwin and Dr. Jason Hughes, Centre for Labour Market Studies.
And you're John. I'm John. Yes. That's that one, I think. And I think I've got this right. Congratulations. That's very good. Splendid. Well done.
Let me begin by congratulating all those who have graduated here today, both the honorary graduates, who remind us of the achievements to which we can aspire, and those who have earned their degrees by passing examinations and writing theses. This is a great day for all of you, for all your supporters, families, friends, and teachers. The graduation ceremony, with its pomp and formality, brings the whole university together and reminds us of its main purpose, the passing on of knowledge to a new generation. Many of you have travelled from distant lands to come to Leicester. I too have, in my way, made such a journey, since I now live in Edinburgh, a city that has been much in the news over the past few weeks. The focus of multiple demonstrations associated with the G8 summit at Glen Eagles. As you know, the leaders of the rich nations of the world have acquired a guilty conscience and been persuaded of the novel idea that the rich should help the poor. In particular, Africa has been high on the agenda as a continent that has been lagging behind the rest of the world and suffers constantly from poverty, disease, and famine. Although at my age I am a little old to march in the streets, I very much sympathise with the objectives of those hundreds of thousands of people, including my son, who wanted to register their hope that more should be done to help Africa. No doubt, more money will be forthcoming, and that is welcome. But at the end of the day, action has to be implemented by people. Developing countries need to educate and train more of their citizens so they can cope with the complex demands of the modern world. They need teachers, doctors, engineers, farmers, scientists, and an efficient civil administration that can raise the standard of living and modernise their society. This is where the universities can contribute. It is our task to turn out in large numbers and all the variety that the present world requires, to train personnel who will help to improve the lives of those who live in underprivileged societies. Whatever country you are from, or wherever you plan to work, you will in your own way be contributing to the welfare of the world's inhabitants. Of course, you will be motivated by many aims, from intellectual ambition to the support of your family. But you should always bear in mind your moral obligation to society as a whole, both within and outside the boundaries of your own country. As someone privileged to have enjoyed the benefits of higher education, you have to shoulder part of the burden of helping those who are less fortunate. Here in Leicester, we now turn out, as you can see, impressive numbers of new graduates from many countries and in a wide variety of disciplines. This is our contribution to the world, and I am personally happy to have presided over the occasion when we celebrate this achievement. I have now been Chancellor of Leicester for 10 years, and this is my last graduation ceremony. The last chance I have of addressing such a large audience. I may not be able to compete with Bob Geldof, but I think I have a more impressive gown. In my 10 years, Leicester has matured into a major university. Every year, I hear the latest statistics from the Vice-Chancellor telling us how student numbers have grown, how we have more postgraduates than any other university in the country, and how research is flourishing in our departments. And right now, as he told you, a vast new building program is underway that will provide an appropriate infrastructure for these increasing numbers. I congratulate the Vice-Chancellor and all his colleagues in the university for these achievements. I can retire happy in the knowledge that the university is thriving and has a great future before it. Over these past 10 years, I think I must have shaken about 10,000 hands. And it's encouraging to think of all those products of Leicester University who've gone out over the past 10 years and are serving their countries, serving their families in various places all over the world. It's a very reassuring prospect for me and hope for the university as a whole. I have enjoyed my association with Leicester, and the image that will stay most firmly in my mind is that of a multinational, multicultural university with a wide range of students from all parts of the world and of all ages. A university fit for the future. Farewell.
Now, in case you think that I've come over here in order to announce the results of the competition between the faculties, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it never closes until we've all left the platform. So from that point of view, you're still in with a good chance. I must say that it's been a tremendous degree congregation today with a huge amount of celebration, and throughout the degree ceremonies this year, we have had a tremendous time, and indeed that always is the result of the hard work that a huge number of people in the university who are completely unseen on these occasions, or who actually are hidden away behind all the doors, both downstairs and upstairs, and who do a huge amount of work behind the scenes. I'm sure that the 14,000 people who've been through this hall since Tuesday afternoon would like you to demonstrate your appreciation for all those people who've done a huge amount of work this week. Now, many of our degree ceremonies this year have had special features associated with them, and this particular degree ceremony is no exception. As our Chancellor has indicated in his speech, that this is the last degree ceremony that he will preside over, and he has been our Chancellor for 10 years. I joined the university 6 years ago, and it has been my great privilege to work with Sir Michael Atiyah during the course of degree ceremonies, and also to have his support for the university, for its activities, and for a whole range of things that go well beyond the degree ceremonies. We count ourselves exceedingly fortunate in the University of Leicester that Sir Michael Atiyah has been our Chancellor over the last decade. When he came to the university in the mid-1990s, he was then Master of Trinity College, Cambridge, and President of the Royal Society. During the time that he has been Chancellor of the university, he has earned many distinctions. He is one of the members of the Order of Merit in this country, one of the most prestigious honours that anyone can have from any walk of life. It is a great distinction, and a great distinction for his academic work. He has also been selected in various competitions to be awarded a whole range of prizes. And from that point of view, we have been exceedingly pleased when we have seen that not only does he accept these prizes, but he also indicates that he is Chancellor of the University of Leicester. It brings great honour on the university and it adds great distinction. The other thing about working with Sir Michael Atiyah is it's always terrific fun. And one of the things about being an academic, which some of you may remember me saying 3 years ago when you arrived in the university, and I said to you, I've always worked in universities because I've found it great fun, and I hope you found it great fun in the period you've been here. One of the things about working with Michael Atiyah is that you instantly recognise the academic and the academic who really enjoys the cut and thrust of academic debate and also the fun of puzzling and solving various things that confront you in your academic work on a daily basis. It is in that respect that we feel we have been greatly privileged, and indeed there will be other opportunities later today for the university to thank you very much for everything you have contributed. But on this final occasion, in a graduation ceremony, I would ask everyone here, again representing the 14,000 people, and indeed not only that, the many generations of Leicester graduates over the last decade, to say thank you very much indeed for being our Chancellor and adding such distinction to the university.
I have one final task to perform to declare this congregation closed.